Hello everyone, it has been a while, but at last I am back with another battle. As you may remember, though you probably won't because it was a long time ago, in the last video I proved that my single decision based on 5th gen experience was a game-changing factor in X and Y battle and told you that I'm not gonna stop thinking 5th gen anytime soon. Well, you are looking at the exact reason why. Yes, this is Black 2 and White 2 NU-ish battle. You could call it old school, except it's not that old because it was recorded about 2 months ago. You see, despite that Nintendo shut down the Wi-Fi servers of the older Pokemon games soon after X and Y came out, currently there is a way to play 4th and 5th gen Wi-Fi battles using the alternative Wi-Fi server. I'm not gonna go into details on how to set up your DS or DesMuMe to work with alternative server. Instead, for those of you that are interested, I'm gonna leave a link to a tutorial video in the description. So at first, this was supposed to be just a test battle with FlamingAxel to see if everything works as it should, but it turned out to be close enough that we both decided to upload it. You are probably wondering by now, how am I planning to win against Raymond with 5 pokes, most of which aren't even common in NU, but don't you worry, the 6th slot is a secret weapon that I have brought just to make it tiny bit more interesting. I never told Raymond what it is, he had to find it out on his own. Let's see how it went down. I lead up with offensive Swords Dance Meganium, hoping that he will use his Electrode as a taunt lead, because that was quite common thing to do back in 5th gen, so I want him to think that I'm a double screen set and catch him off guard with an Earthquake for an early lead. As usual though, my ambitious plans goes terribly wrong immediately, because he leads off with Macargo. You might be thinking, well, so what? Earthquake works just as well on this as on Electrode. Yeah, except for some reason, I was convinced that Macargo has 30 and I don't want to be crippled with a burn that early in the game, though now that I think about it, he has no reason to burn me right off the bat if he thinks I'm a double screener. But anyway, I make what I assume is the safest play and switch to Fion, only to realize that I'm about to get popped with plus 2 HP grass real quick, which is 70 base power mind you, so it is enough to bend my Iphion to the breaking point. So now I bring Fatboy Slim to break his sturdy, aka weak armor, so 3 turns have passed and I am already down 6-4. That escalated quickly. Thankfully, I do have one Eviolite user being Fracture, and thanks to it, it is bulky enough to take an Ancient Power and revenge kill him with a superpower. He goes to Mawile to lower my attack by another stage and force me to switch out, which he uses to set up a Stealth Rock. Because he still doesn't know that my Meganium is offensive, he just follows it up with a Super Fang as I reveal a Swords Dance, but now that he knows what's up, he switches to Rotom to take an obvious Earthquake and then tricks me a Choice Scarf as I just switch it up to Outrage, getting pretty frustrated at this point. It nearly takes him out in one hit, so he then goes right back to Mawile, sponges another one with ease, and then reveals an Iron Head for a good chunk of damage as I'm locked in for one more turn. Because nearly half of my team is gone from the first turns of the game, I don't really have much to deal with this thing, so I figure I have no choice but to reveal my surprise early. And now we have to switch to Raymond's perspective, because believe it or not, my surprise is not a black square. It is in fact a robot named F00, one of the characters that you get to play in PokeStar Studios in Black 2 and White 2, but unfortunately Game Freak never thought of letting us actually catch this thing and battle with it, which is a shame because it is actually a very interesting Pokemon. F00, also known as Prop R1, is a normal and steel type Pokemon with base 100 stats all around and a Volt Absorb ability, pretty logical for a robot Pokemon. Its Pokestar moveset consists of double stab moves in form of Iron Head and a Trash, but also Head Smash, Needle Arm and Hammer Arm. Pretty powerful combo for such innocent thing, but it is nothing compared to its brother, Prop R2, which has the same typing, same stats, but reckless ability and learns Wild Charge as well as Flare Blitz. I am gonna use it one day in a higher tier battle. Anyways, I decided not to abuse this thing's stats and modify its original moveset a bit to make it less harmful, so it ended up with Thunder Wave, Tether Dance, Headbutt and Iron Head. A great successor to my Troll Gepi. Keep in mind that Raymond has no idea about anything that I just told you, so he switches to his Rotom to scout my moveset, while I go for a Thunder Wave because in 5th gen electric types are not immune to it, and then finish him off with a Headbutt. Now he goes to his Flareon, probably guessing that I'm a part Steel type, but again, because it's 5th gen, it doesn't learn Flare Blitz, and thanks to a lot of HP investment and base 100 stats all around, I am able to survive a Flame Charge and paralyze this thing as well. Then I go for a Tether Dance as he reveals a quick attack, realizing that I have to bank on Haxis to have any chance of winning this battle. He does hit himself in confusion, and thanks to nearly max attack investment, adamant nature and part normal typing, Headbutt does a bad ton, so he decides to switch to Electrode to finish me off what I assume is a Specs Volt switch. That's how he finds out about my ability and gives me all of those delicious HP, but then makes up for it with Aftermath as I finish him off with a Headbutt. Knowing my entire moveset, he realizes that he can easily set up with his Scraggy against me, but knowing that as well, I switch to my Beautifly right away. Unfortunately, this one does not carry Air Slash, Backblast does a pitiful damage, and because of Stealth Rock taking half of my HP on the switch, Crunch is enough to finish me off. So now I go to my Fracture, which was named way back when Gangnam Style used to be cool, and go for an Outrage rather than Superpower, because I'm pretty sure that after a bulk up, he can survive the former, and the last thing I want is him resting off, so I would rather do lower but a constant damage to avoid being stalled out. He goes straight for a Drain Punch though for an easy KO, and from this range, Meganium is still unable to finish him off. Fun fact, if he went for a Crunch against my Fracture, he would still have survived that Seed Bomb with 1 HP, so all in all, this stalwart that is about to unfold was inevitable. I am down to Prop R1, which finishes off yet another poke with a Headbutt, and now, all Raymond has left is a defensive Mawile and paralyzed Flareon, so the next 20 turns or so don't require additional commentary. Eventually, we both decided that continuing this battle is pretty much asking for a connection drop, so we decided to forfeit while we can and end this game with a draw. Good game, Raymond. Very even from the first turn and came down to a raw skill. Nah, who am I kidding? If it wasn't for Prop R1, I would get swept about 7 times, but I think you'll agree. It was quite interesting to see my opponent's reaction to a Pokemon that he has never seen before, and then watch him learning what it does and trying to deal with it. I hope you enjoyed the video. As long as it is possible to play 5th gen battles, I am gonna bring them every once in a while, if and when I find someone to battle with, but that's it for now. I'll see you all next time.